Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Forgive our debtors as we forgive our debts. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive our trespassors. Forgive our trespassers as we forgive our trespassers. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, for my life. Thank you, God, for all the blessings, miracles, and gifts for today. Jesus, in your name I pray for a very peaceful day, and I pray to do everything from a very peaceful and a beautiful state. Thank you. Okay. So there is a content idea that I have that I want to execute on now, so that way it's done, it's out the way, and I get to the deep work for today. I woke up late. Yes, I did not wake up at 4 a.m. Again, that's me. And what I'm going to start doing is every single time that I do that, I'm going to have to figure out like some sort of negative accountability system where I donate like $1 to a charity that I basically would not. And I'm against what they do, right? Because then that way, like, I'm supporting that, right? So by me not doing certain things, by me not doing certain work, that could affect the trajectory of my life, my family's life long term. So I'm going to make it a habit to do that. And I got to figure that out. I'm just piecing together certain things right now, and I'll get there. I just couldn't sleep last night. Like, I woke up at midnight and I was up for, I think, like 2 hours or something. And I know why. I shouldn't have checked the phone. I was just so eager with with what I was seeing on YouTube. It was just really interesting for me personally. But either way, I'm going to create this piece of content. Had an idea for it and just want to execute it. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out pretty good. I hope. Let's show the camera. Right. Yep. Let's pull out the so yeah. Ocean. There we go. Cool. So now from here, I gotta figure out how to get this guy. Yeah, let's just show the thing. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Right. Right, there's the base, and then there's not the base. Oh, okay. So I got to take this out. Let's go to the main screen. Eject for now. Okay, so now I've got the lapel mic on, the DJI, and what I'm gonna need to do here is have that as the base, right? Oh, that was a good fart. Sorry about that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm testing out a piece of content. Nah. Right. Okay, well, that's still good. Right there. If I'm actually recording the thing. Okay. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do a little picture-in-picture thing where I've got this camera recording here. I've got this camera recording my face, and yeah, this is a fucking job, man. This is really a job. It's really a job. Right, because then when I sit down, right, I go set a timer for 1 minute and then do the thing. Right. Okay, so just so you can see here from the monitor, maybe not. Let's see if I could do that. Right. So to show the screen right here, I've got in the background, oh, there we go. I've got OBS. And then I've got the landscape view right here. And then I've also got the vertical mode right here. So if you can see, landscape mode here, vertical mode here. And the idea is I'm streaming the landscape mode. That's what most people will see. The vertical mode is for that 9:16 vertical look to it. And man, I got a weird shaped head. from this angle. Maybe it's the haircut style. So the idea is lay down, do the thing, have this phone record the, you know, my facial expression as I'm doing this. And then in the short, when I do it in post-production, the idea is to put this, whatever I captured from here, onto the vertical so that it comes together and it produces a piece of content. And right now what I'm trying to explore and I'm trying to experiment is content formats that people actually would watch. And sometimes it takes a lot of effort, sometimes it doesn't. Like again, I created a really low value, low effort piece here the other day, and then somehow, some way, like really, like how the freak. Yeah, it's like it got freaking 20 subscribers, you know? So I don't know. It was really just the lowest value piece of content that I could have created. And it did all these, you know, views basically. But now it's hit its decay curve. So it was holding strong until 3 seconds, and then it just went down. It just like literally off a cliff, dropped down. Yeah. It's interesting though. It's interesting what people are resonating with. So I know to basically attack more of these types of videos now, which I will do. And maybe that works, you know? Maybe that actually honestly does work. I don't know. And then here too, the analytics on this one. I got 5 subscribers off of this one. I got the subscriber for that one. The question is why though, you know? Like why would you want to watch that stuff? I don't know. But also pretty interesting too, you know? Pretty interesting. But we'll get there, you know? Let's focus so we can get to work here. Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, 2 came from the live stream, 4 came from the shorts. Most of my views come from shorts. That's pretty obvious. From that shorts feed. All right, let's put it into motion here. Right. I also have to put on that piece right there, that audio. Audio. DJ on mic 3. Cool. Checking. Yep. Yeah. Cool. How do I set the status to inactive? I don't know. I do not know. Good enough. Let's get to work here. All right, so I think the idea of what I want to say is something like, I'm going to have a text overlay on the final piece, which you'll see. It's going to say something like, can I make it, or something like this. And then there's going to be that curious face emoji. And then what I think I'm going to do, and again, this is my scripting right here. Until I have my system actually up and running to show all that, this is my system. And right now I'm just playing with content formats. But either way, gonna have that text overlay. I'm gonna say 102 seconds, start a timer, set a timer for 102 seconds, 102 seconds counting down. I go into the back bridge pose, and then I say, this is a back bridge. This is back bridge pose, and it's a very difficult exercise, but that's not what this post is about. No. But that's not what this post is about. This post is about right. Damn, I had the idea yesterday. Me walking, someone crying. Okay. Right. All right, and then I want to say something like, I was going through a hard time, and it just reminded me to say, hey, I'm just documenting this stuff. I'm just documenting my evolution, how I'm building my own brand, and et cetera, especially like for the new earth, I think so. I don't know. Let's see. We got to record here. And then we got to record here. Set a timer for 102 seconds.
1 minute and 40.
This is a back bridge pose. I'm going to hold it for 100 seconds. It's very difficult to do. It feels like it's burning all my muscles all at once after a while, but that's not the point of this pose. The point of this post is to express a thought. I'm documenting how I'm building my personal brand in 2026, especially in this new earth paradigm that we're in. I do think it's going to be more important than ever as the AI advances to basically create content and build a brand that you're proud of and that you're happy with. The last 6 months of my life have been very difficult, and I had a lot of reflection time. I had a lot of reflection time, and I thought to myself, all the money that I had saved, it was all gone in legal fees, and getting a car and all this stuff. So when the money goes, what's left? And it made me think about having quality relationships. Oh God. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. This honestly is not scripted. It's just me documenting my thoughts. I couldn't sleep last night. I had a thought about doing this piece of content, and I'm just gonna put it out there and see what happens. But if you're the type of person that wants to create content and do something that is meaningful to them and fulfill your purpose, just put it out there. See what happens. God bless you. I love you. Oh shit. Oh. Ow. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. I don't know if I said the right thing or not. You know, I'm just doing what comes to me right now. You know, I'm just doing what comes to me. Oh, that was tough, man. That was really, really, really tough. Oh, man. It's doable, but it's tough. Okay. Well, now that we got that one out the way, I'm going to make sure that this is up. That had people's attention. But obviously, it could not keep people's attention. Why? Because there was no format to it. There was no structure to the that piece of content. Let me show you what I mean. So yesterday I posted this. This is just an idea. It was just an idea to just post this piece of content right here. Okay, the Puppet Master thing. 20% stay to watch, average view duration, 17 seconds. They really stayed for 17 fucking seconds. I cannot believe that. But what I can believe is that it's like, how was this formed, you know? And it seems like this piece of content, for whatever reason, some of it was pretty interesting. Now it's gone flat and it's going to flatline, and that's pretty much where it's going to be. I would imagine. I honestly would imagine. But that's the thing about this, though, you know? Massive drop, done. So it has a very short-lived shelf life. So the decay curve on a piece of content is I think is very short-lived. And if it doesn't take off, it's not going to take off. It's not going to continue to circulate, you know, which is understandable. But this was it, right? This was the piece of content that I posted yesterday. And it was just a terrible piece of content. Like, this is me with the Puppet Master. This is me with the puppets. This is me. Why would I get 16 likes? This is me. Me. If you want to fulfill your life purpose right now, what do you think you have to do? What do you think you have to do to fulfill your purpose right now? Here's what you have to do. Why would you? You know? And that was the piece though. But look, within like a day, it got 2.2K views. That doesn't make any logical sense to me why someone would do that. However, it also makes sense in the sense that it has this very internet badly produced vibe to it. And that's fine. And I may honestly just go in that direction and just make the best, worst videos that I can make that have that internet-y vibe to it. That's the best thing that I could say. But it's a process of the discovery. It's a process of figuring out what works, what resonates, looking at the analytics. And, you know, like I was showing, like there's that drop off. The retention curve, I don't think is there just yet. Come on. The retention curve, I don't think is there just yet. Because I'm using the other microphone. So I got to ask myself, like, when it's all said and done, like, how do I want to really structure these things? Because I could obviously just have a prompter, which I do have over here. You can't see it, but I've got a prompter and I can just read off the prompter. But if I can create lots of shorts that are not necessarily silly and mindless, because I don't want to contribute to brain rot, but if they teach a concept about, like, you know, emotional regulation and etc., I would want to do something like that, you know? Anyway. Let's take a break. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back over here. Break. Okay, cool. there is one very important thing that I must do that I did not, and that is get ourselves set up for the Notion. Okay, let's open up the brand operating system. Desktop. Yeah, for someone else, back bridge may be super easy, you know. For me, pretty tough. Okay. Today, save the transcripts, right, on how to write scripts, get the anatomy of, right, okay. That's what we got to do today. Okay, we got like an hour and a half to do that, and that 10, and then edit the videos and all that stuff. Okay. All right, now from here, we take that break. From here, we take that break. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, Mighty I Am Presence. Thank you, Great Divine Spirit Team. Thank you, Subconscious Mind. Thank you, Great White Brotherhood of the highest vibrational frequency and consciousness who love and support me unconditionally. Bless this water. I am blessed. I am at peace. I am the type of person that gets paid to exist. I have amazing, high quality relationships. I am friendly. I am kind. People like me. I am supported. I am one with all that is. I am one with God. I am at peace. I spread a lot of love, peace, and positivity. Thank you. Yeah, if there's anyone that I would be like, I'd be like Jesus, you know, or Gandhi or Buddha, you know. All right. We are going to put in some work today. Right. How we're going to do all that at once. Got a screen share. Right? Okay, cool. Done. Okay, so this is the work for today. Hopefully I can do this. My deep work is going to be cut short today, but it's fine. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so the other day, yesterday, we worked on the metrics tracking sheet. So for this week, pretty much we did all of this. And we took all the data, we took all the stuff. I did a couple of reps to get a feel for how this would actually work in real time. We got these metrics. Okay, so we have all these metrics here. Fine. Next. Right, resources on how to write the YouTube scripts. Just the same thing here. Mm-hmm. Okay, simple today. Let's keep it real simple today. Fair enough, right? So all I did was I just researched where people were saying when I researched scripts. So let's actually track how I did this. Whoa. Okay. So what do I do here? I did this. Just to show. I went into YouTube. Okay, waste time. That's AI. That's not the short. That actually could be helpful.
More money, it doesn't account for that. So I don't
let's
like
actually
doing that.
put
I don't
this
think it's
here.
as accurate. And there's also kind of like call it like a beta decay of sort, where an idea that might have worked 9 months ago might not work now. So that's why I don't like channel average. I prefer moving average because I can track like, okay, within the last 5 videos, this video is doing better than the last 5. There's a reason for that. And then you can keep doing that.
What is going on? Oh, come on, man. Okay. So that could be helpful. Either way, I researched YouTube script anatomy. Done, right? Anatomy, YouTube script ideas, how to write a script, basically. Okay. So obviously they're not going to teach you their entire secret sauce. But what we're going to do is we're going to compile everything together with ChatGPT to figure out what is it, what are the commonalities and what are the things. Okay. So that's what we're going to work on today. Okay, here we go. So they are doing AI. That's all AI generated. Yep, all AI generated. That's cool. Yep. All AI generated. Right. Okay. Either which way. You go here, how to write a YouTube script. Done. Here. You copy the videos, the video links. Yeah, there we go. Script template. That's another good one.
In this video, I'm going to share my complete.
Let's take this video and let's go into here and let's add that as one more. Last one here. Okay, now, once you've compiled all your pieces, like all the potential videos, that you would want to review, I selected mine based on how many views it had, and I selected based on the familiarity. But you can basically, it's okay to just take from whatever source that you need to compile the template. And for me, why I do this because I find that it's important to not just listen to one person, but to get an overall consensus. Because if you don't have the consensus, what winds up happening is that if you just rely on one source and you take that as the gospel, don't be surprised if it's inaccurate. Yeah, there's some people that have success with certain things, and I'm sure that they, study and whatever. I just think that you don't want to leave it up to chance, or I don't want to leave it up to chance, and I want to make sure that there's overlapping agreements, because otherwise it's just someone's philosophy versus these are proven ways that you tell stories. So once I have that, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open up this video here. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start extracting the templates. Okay? So if you go into a YouTube video, you go to the description, you click on it, what you're going to see
Today we're talking about.
Actually, that's an interesting idea. Okay, that's a piece of content right there. Okay, let's record here. Since I'm not a storyteller by nature, since I'm not an inherent storyteller by nature, and I've never gone to film school or, got an art degree, what I'm doing to create scripts for future YouTube videos so that way I stay aligned and on target and not go off on tangents like I'm used to, is I am creating a brand operating system. And this brand operating system is going to have a database specifically for where I create pieces of content. And what I'm doing right now for this deep work session that I'm in is I have compiled a list of resources on how to write YouTube scripts. So I have all of these resources here, and I've just embedded the links to these different script ideas, like how to write scripts, into this page. But if you wanted to do it for yourself, literally all you got to do is this. Go to YouTube, type in how to write a script, how to write a YouTube script, right? Find whatever resonates with you.
I'm a 17-year-old
Copy. Go to your page, wherever you're storing the information. Doesn't matter whether it's Notion or whatever. And then you want to embed the video so that you have that as a record, right? I already pulled this one off before. So that's step one. Step two now is to actually go to the video. And basically the way that I selected my category
Today we're talking about writing killer
people or videos to watch is, number one, I'm familiar with this guy's work, Calloway, and he has very good content in my opinion, and I trust him as a source. Same thing with Think Media. And for the other ones that I'm not so familiar with, what I did was I just looked at the view count and see if this video got a lot of views, that tells me that they did something right, because the algorithm wouldn't have distributed their content and they would not have had that much of a reach in their content if it was bad advice. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I made my decision logic here. So what I do is, inside of a YouTube video, if you scroll down, you'll see the description, okay? And when you see this description, if you go all the way down, you should see an area that says transcript. Go to show transcript. You're going to see the transcript. You're going to take that and you're going to copy it. What the fuck? Super simple, right? Copy. Open up Pages or whatever it is, Microsoft Word, if you're in Windows or whatever. Then you're going to just copy that. You're going to literally copy that blank to this Pages document. Then you're going to go to File. You're going to export the thing, okay? Export to plain text. And then from here, so that way I have everything saved properly, is I just copy the title as the title for this piece of content, okay? Now, where do I store this? I store this in my deep work cycle, how to write a killer script, okay? I'm gonna export that now. Going to go back to Notion, okay? And then I'm gonna Markdown. I'm gonna import this as text as a Markdown. I'm gonna make sure I save it to this page. I'm gonna choose the file, okay? From here, I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna click on continue. Wait for it to import. Cool. I should see it here. Okay, now I'm going to store this right here so that it's together. And now I have the complete transcript of the video saved. Okay, now I'm going to do that again for all of these videos. So let's do that now. And this is also why information is now dead, I think, personally, in the AI era that we're in. And it's because of this. It's because technically all you have to do is just create a prompt now in any AI like Cloud or ChatGPT or whatever, and basically just ask for the AI to summarize the transcript. So if there's like a 2-hour podcast and you don't actually want to listen to it, you just want to know the details, literally you can just summarize the takeaways. So long form content in that regard, I don't think it's going to be, I don't know how honestly valuable that is anymore. And it takes so much time to consume one piece of content, you know? But for people that do enjoy that kind of stuff, great. But I don't have that, me personally, I don't have that kind of time. So I wouldn't be watching content that's like 2 hours in length, you know? Even if it's at 2x speed, that's still an hour. Keep going with this process. This will be the last, absolutely last source. And this channel, Isaac has like really great content. Really great content. So this is even more reason for me to pull out what they're doing.
In this video, I'm gonna share with you how I write my scripts for YouTube videos to ultimately save me time and create better videos. Coming up.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, my name is Normal with Think Media, and we had a question come in recently, and Gil asked how to write a script for a
This is how to make a killer YouTube intro to blow up your channel. Watch closely.
Cheers. this is another piece of content I would like to take just because it's
There's a
looks
YouTube
interesting and it speaks to me as a beginner, right? So
이해
let's
권사잖아.
finish up what we're doing though here. Refresh the page. Especially pieces of content like this that are super long, they may be so meaty, you know? I don't want to waste my time going through and listening and then taking notes by hand when I can just go to AI and it's going to articulate and summarize everything way better for me. You know, and that's the thing too about the content now. There's so much content out there now. It's impossible to keep up with everything. It's just impossible. So for me, this is like the most consolidated way. And I know this takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do all this stuff. It's a lot of work to sit down, think about the concept idea, create the title, all that stuff. And that's the thing that's like, not scary, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, how is the whole content creation space going to change? Because with pieces of content like this, like, I don't have to watch these videos anymore. I do not. And I'm just showing you behind the scenes, like, my process. I didn't read this from a book. It just came to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just received the information of how to do this and go much faster about it. So, you know, AI is highly disruptive and it's only going to advance more. And we're already, what, 3-4 years since ChatGPT came out and we're already at this stage. So it's not looking good for content creators or for anyone in general if they don't have a way to use AI in their workflows. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a happy ending if you think you're just going to give it just the human touch. My personal opinion. But again, what do I know? I could be wrong. I hope I am in that regard. I really, really do. Because I know that this takes a lot of work. We're almost there. Okay. There was one last piece of content that I wanted to extract, and it was this one right here. Okay. And even still, if YouTube came up with a feature to block transcripts, someone is going to figure it out. Someone is going to figure out another way. There are other ways too, you know, like transcription services to basically just take the content and to extract the transcript. So it really doesn't matter at this stage, whether it's YouTube housing the transcript itself or whether you go to an external third-party tool to do it. It really doesn't matter. And I may be asking, like, why am I doing all this stuff when I could have literally just asked ChatGPT to have just researched it for me? Up to a point, from what I've seen from ChatGPT and AI so far, true. But, big but here, is that there's a lot of inaccuracies still with ChatGPT. And even though ChatGPT hallucinates significantly less than it did when I was using 3.5, GPT 3.5. It's still hallucinating at times, and some of the information may not be so accurate. So that's why it's helpful to have these scripts from other people that have actually done the work, right? So we're not trying to discredit anyone's work. I know that they put in a lot of work into these videos, and for that, I'm so grateful. What I'm showing here is how do we use AI now to our advantage? How do we use artificial intelligence to create a system in such a way that helps us increase our output? And that's what I'm working on with the brand operating system. So we built the brand operating system in 3 layers. The first layer was about us and how we can help and what's our market fit and what can we offer that's based on what we are, who we are, and how can we deliver that to people. I think that as AI becomes super advanced, we're gonna find companies that can generate 7-8 figures ARR are going to shrink in size, but are still gonna be able to do what a 500 company enterprise was able to do. And I think that's a huge advantage for us as solopreneurs or very small teams of 2 or 3, because with these tools, with this technology, if done correctly, I think, don't quote me on it, but I think that if this is gonna happen, better to use it now, figure it out now, and use that to our advantage and to learn how these tools work. And what I understand about AI right now is the more creative you are and the more you can think independently, the better you'll get out of it. So the higher your vibration and your consciousness is, the more you'll get out of this, because you'll think about how to use AI in ways that maybe most people won't. And I'm just showing you what's come to me so far and how I use it. Are there people that are more advanced in how to use AI? I'm 100% positive. But to actually sit down, look through all that information, review, it's a lot of work. It takes time. So getting back to this, we've got all these creators that have posted up really great content on how to blow up their YouTube channels, how to create scripts, etc. I am not looking to create a piece of content remixing what they said. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm taking the anatomy, basically like the components of what they are saying makes a good script. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because, again, I can go to ChatGPT, I can ask, how do I make a killer script? And then it gives me a whole bunch of fluff. But how would I actually know if that works? You get what I'm saying? These people that actually did the work, if this is the truth, there's a higher chance that it's more accurate. Okay, there's a higher chance that it's more accurate because they have done the work. They have proven with their channels. Like this person right here, 422,000 subscribers. This person this channel right here, 202,000 subscribers. Another channel, 135. Another channel, 3.45 million. You know what I'm saying? So it's in our advantage to study what these guys are doing, and we don't do it by copying them. We do it by analyzing the similarities, okay? We do it by analyzing the similarities. So the next step in this phase is to do this. We open up each script each transcript. And I think, unfortunately, ChatGPT can only audit and analyze up to 10. So let's just see what we got here. Hopefully it's not too much. Okay. Now let's open up this folder. So wait a second. It's already here. Of course. So I don't even need to do that. There you go. I just saved myself some time. So now the next thing we're going to do is this. We're going to take all these pieces of content, these transcripts, put them in here. You may only upload 10 files at a time, right? Okay, fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom up, and we're going to go here, highlight that, drop it in. Okay. And again, I'm working on a brand operating system for me to build my personal brand. And this is what I've been learning over the last 18, 19 months is how to really work with AI. And I've been using AI every single day since nearly every day. Sorry, that was a lie. My bad. Nearly every day since September 2024 or something like this. So anyway, we put all that content in, okay? So we've taken the transcripts from the videos. We put that into ChatGPT. Now, here's what we need to do. We need to ask ChatGPT how to analyze all that data, because I'm not going to spend time. And again, that's the other thing too. For as many good creators as there are and good videos as there are, there's also really bad videos that waste your time. And I know that there are creators that even though they have over 100K subscribers, what are they doing? They're copying from everyone else. I'm not intending to do that. I'm just intending to look at similarities and create my own templates based on what has the best odds of success. Not just for the search engines to rank or whatever and to get the impressions, but for humans, because it's us that are watching channels. We are the ones consuming each other's content, either to get inspired to create our own stuff or because we find it good content, good high quality content. And that's what I want to do. Create high quality, the highest quality content that I can with the tools and resources that I have and the time that I have, and provide value. That's it. So, okay, now what we need to do for the next stage of the brand operating system is we need to audit and figure out the proper anatomy of creating scripts, period. You've given me things before, but I thought it would be more useful to look at what top creators are doing and how they are engineering and designing their scripts so that they maximize the distribution that they get on their pieces of content, period. So what I need you to do is I need you to audit every single piece of content and then analyze the similarities, analyze the differences, and then research also what is mass consensus for a script template. And I need you to put that all together into a final set so that I understand what is the final script anatomy template of a piece of content, period. Assess each piece of content that you see here, each transcript, and tell me how accurate that is out of 100% for each transcript, period. And that's the other thing too. Like, I want to know how legitimate each piece of content is, because I don't know if whoever is creating it, if they copied it, if they just like literally did a copy and paste cookie cutter thing just to get the views because it was ranking high, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I will never know what their workflow was or what their behind the scenes was. I'm showing you what my behind the scenes is and what I do, and I'm putting it out there. So here we go. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open this up here. Okay, so what I would do now is I would take everything that is under a 90 and basically just delete it now. Okay, let's play the message.
Yes. After comparing the transcripts, there is a clear mass consensus anatomy. Final script anatomy template 0. Packaging first. Before writing, lock the idea, title, thumbnail framing enough that you know the expectation you're creating. Multiple creators explicitly say the script should be written to match and confirm the promise set by the packaging. Immediately confirming the click, first line matches the title promise, first visual matches the thumbnail promise, no fluff, no welcome back, no early CTA. This is one of the strongest repeated patterns across the transcripts. 2. Fast intro, why stay? Very quick readable or why this matters, why they should keep watching. Think, promise plus credibility plus reason to continue. 3. Outline before drafting. Do not write from a blank page. First decide, the murder, the story container. This came up constantly. 4. Body value and sequence. The body should move logically, increase clarity or tension, cut fluff, layer facts. Example. That progression shows up across multiple transcripts. Retention engineering throughout. Keep compressing. Every line must earn its place. Shorten where possible. Maintain curiosity, tension, novelty. Give context before complexity. Keep the on-census theme. 6. Outros. Next step bridge. Do not end the video emotionally before the next recommendation. Use an in-screen bridge, sales pitch in the next relevant video instead of generic begging for likes, subscribes. Clean final template confirmation. 3. Intro promise plus credibility plus stakes. 4. Outline sections. 5. Body. 6. Payoff resolution. 7. Next video bridge, CTA. For your system, that is the best final anatomy. Transcript 8. Each transcript is for building a strong script system. How to write a killer script that keeps viewers hooked. 95-100 best overall systems view. Strong on expectation versus reality. Packaging first, outline before intro, body outrow logic. Very useful. How to easily script YouTube videos to get more views. 90-100. Very strong. Good on title framing before scripting, choosing only a few core points, HIVS structure, and in-screen logic. How to make a killer YouTube intro to blow up your channel. 92-100. Excellent specifically for intro design. Strong, title, thumbnail match, and click confirmation. Less complete as a full script system. How I actually blew up my YouTube channel. 84-100. Good strategically. Strong on transformation, niche idea selection through outliers. Less clean as a universal script template because it mixes growth philosophy with scripting. How to use a script for videos and still sound natural. 79-100. Useful on process and mindset, but too harp. Good for unscript method and sounding natural, weaker as a final script anatomy source. How to write scripts for YouTube videos. 86-100. Good fundamentals, short intro, no fluff, credibility, outline first. Useful, though simpler and less advanced. How to write a script for a YouTube video. 82-100. Solid basics, hook, content, CTA, word for word versus bullet points. Good beginner framing, but not deep enough for elite script engineering. How I actually W. 91-100. Very strong. Good on common goal with viewer, deeper problem beneath surface topic, outline roasting, gradual complexity, and making the script feel human instead of fake. H is 10x faster. Nobody teaches this. 93-100. Excellent. Strong on interestingness, shock novelty selection, hook structures, story structure selection, emotional filter, compression, and final checklist. From scripting to editing. 76-100. Useful operationally for workflow, idea capture, intro importance, and scripting habits, but weaker as a universal high-performance script framework. Mass consensus strongest transcripts. The shared rules are packaging first, hook fast, confirm, the click immediately, outline before drafting, keep only a few core points, body must progress not ramble, cut fluff hard end on purpose, end by bridging to the next video, not by begging. My blunt recommendation for your brand OS. Use this as the canonical script sequence. Packaging, hook, intro, outline, body, payoff, next video ED control. Check every script against 4 questions. Is the opening confirming the click? Is the story value compressed enough? Does the body escalate clearly? Does the ending push naturally into the next step? That's the cleanest final answer from the material you uploaded.
Okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the videos that ChatGPT said got for sure over a 90. I'm going to keep them, okay? And I'm going to eliminate anything that's below a 90, okay? So how to easily script YouTube videos to get more views. Okay, so let's go in here in the Finder. Let's go how to use natural. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one. Still sound natural, okay? Okay, these are like the unscripted methods. I'll actually keep that one. Actually keep the one because I'm interested in that one. But let's see. Scripts for YouTube. Okay. All right. Scripts for YouTube videos. How I actually blew up my channel. How I actually blew up my YouTube channel. Oh boy. Jesus. Hey. Right. How to write a killer script YouTube videos. How to easily script YouTube videos. Nope. Oh my God. Oh, dang it. Fucker. Okay, we need to do process of elimination here. Period. I need you to audit and grade each transcript in terms of its clarity and its usefulness for actually dissecting the anatomy of creating a script template. period. Because what we need to do is we need to delete that. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to give it to me exactly in the order as you see it, period. Okay. So I shouldn't be having to search through each title, period. Grade each one. Yeah, maybe. Crazy genius to solve the YouTube algorithm. Okay. So yeah, I thought that would be a better piece of content here. Okay. Okay, now audit and grade this set out of 100%. Tell me what to keep and what gets deleted. Okay, now that that's good to go, I'm going to add this in the bottom. Okay. How to write a killer script that keeps viewers hooked. Right. Right, there you go. How to write a killer script that keeps viewers hooked. Done. How to script viral videos 10x faster. Nobody teaches that. Check. How I actually write viral scripts. How to write a YouTube video script made easy. Right, there we go. Okay, so it seems like we're just missing one of these videos here, but that's fine. How to write a script that keeps videos hooked. How to script viral videos faster. Okay, 10x faster. How to actually write viral scripts. How I actually write viral scripts. How to script. How to write a script for a YouTube video. Done. How to make a killer YouTube intro. How to write a script for a YouTube video made easy. How to write scripts for YouTube videos. How I actually blew up my channel. Okay. How to make a killer YouTube intro. Okay. How to make a killer YouTube intro. How to easily script to get more views. How to write scripts for YouTube videos. And how to, okay. All right, now that took forever, the next step in this process is to, once again, feed ChatGPT. Okay. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Please audit and grade out of 100% and tell me what is keeping and what's deleting. And do this with a green check or a red X mark emoji. Okay. Keep. Okay, so all of them are keep. Delete none. Okay. Fine. Good enough. Okay. Okay, so remember, our goal here is to have a script template that basically compiles and takes consensus of what everyone is saying and distills it into a final product, period. But my question is, though, is this only applicable for long form content, or is this also applicable for shorts? Question mark. Is this only applicable for YouTube, comma, or is this applicable for other platforms? Okay, let's take a little break. All right, here we go. Here's what I think about what you're building, really. Attention to the platform, so core logic is what changes. Oh boy, give me too much. It gives me too much. Right, that's exactly my thinking, is we're attempting to overall build a framework that's platform agnostic, that we can adapt to different formats, whether it's shorts, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok or whatever, and we can basically just consolidate and basically capture the most important elements of storytelling. Period. Now, the question I have for you also now is what I just uploaded here just for scripts, or can this be applicable to storytelling? Or do I now need to research storytelling elements of how to tell a good story to incorporate into a script template? Question mark. Keep your answer TLDR, please. So the idea behind all of this is I'm not the type of person that is going to sit through these videos anymore, like how I did years ago, and try to figure all this stuff out and listen to each one, handwrite notes, and then brainstorm or whatever. This is what AI is for me in that purpose. My overarching skill is building a system and using the system to extract these pieces and these components to create the thing that I'm looking to create. And what we need is data. We need different pieces, like a recipe, to put it all together into one final thing. And that's what I'm going for. So, a lot of people get stuck in the stage of what gear do I need? How do I da-da-da? When they really need to be focusing on what kind of system am I going to need to create at scale? Because what I'm seeing from the trends and the analytics and the things that I'm just studying right off the bat is your piece of content is only going to have a certain amount of shelf life. It could be even less than 24 hours. You may get a lot of distribution. You may get a lot of initial push, but data is quickly compounding to determine if your content is even worth distributing even further. And you need to have a way of iterating constantly on that template or on your system to make improvements over time, micro improvements over time, to where you now have a product where, all your statistics increase, which also ultimately helps your overall channel or your personal brand grow. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm documenting. And this is why I'm documenting this, because I don't think that, just showing up and, creating content just because, and you put your heart and soul into it, I don't think that's going to work. And I did that. That's why I'm speaking from that experience. I did that before. And it got me nowhere. It left me burnt out. It left me frustrated. So I would much rather have a system where I'm just doing this as a constant loop, basically. You need both. What you uploaded is mostly script, not fully storytelling theory. Okay, it covers, but it is not fully covered deeper storytelling craft like characters. So the move is keep your script engine, research storytelling separately to plug into that template. Okay. What are my searched terms for YouTube? Question mark. So let's add in that second layer, basically, then. No, I mean, what are my search terms on YouTube for storytelling? Question mark. Like, what am I going to need to research and to have to be able to tell good stories so that we can incorporate that into the template framework? Question mark. Okay, now let's go into YouTube now. There we go. Okay. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Perfect. Cool. So let's do the same thing here. It's a process, you know? Like, this is the boring stuff.
Today we're talking about
I used to
the single most recent
kind of story.
Today we're talking about if you want to get people truly addicted to watching your content, there's one trick you should be using every single time.
Cool. Okay, now let's repeat the process here. You see how long it would take to actually watch all of these videos? And now I'm just dissecting it bit by bit. Yeah, Jenny Hoyle, she crushed it with all her shorts. Really, she is so good. She is so good. Yeah, I would use AI as a storytelling layer. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And like these people that I'm pulling from, Jenny Hoyos, Calloway, and the other guy, this guy, Vin Yang, yeah. Man, so good. And Casey Neistat, I remember watching him years ago. And whew, man, he just exploded, you know? All because he told really good stories. I believe that was his real key to success. Let's see. Yeah, now this guy, Vin, he's got 4.5 million. It's insane. But not insane, but you know, it's really, really great. It's amazing. Really amazing. All these guys' work is really great. I just ask myself, like, am I really going to sit through and, like, you know, watch every single piece of content, you know? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I used to
For
spend
me, it's
hours
not only
trying to
just
plan a
figuring out
video
how to
and
tell good
still have no
stories,
idea what I was actually
it's
trying to
converting
say.
it into a system.
I would make an outline, rewrite, scrap it and start all over again. Or I'd skip it all and just start filming.
You know, that's really, really hard work. It's a lot of work, actually. It's a whole lot of work. And I don't do this to necessarily, you know, devalue what someone is doing. That's not my intention. It's never the intention. I just know that, hey, look, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to review everything and then to decide and filter out who's worth listening to or not. It's work, man. It's very much work. And then a lot of people want to sell you their course or their product or whatever. I understand. I understand so well. And I totally get where, you know, Gary Vee is coming from. Like, hey, you know, just give a lot right now and build that trust first. Because if you don't have that trust and you don't have your packaging and your messaging dialed in, it's gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouth. At least that's how I interpret it now. Okay, this may not be worth extracting. If I cannot get the English version of it, but then again, you see, you could also just translate it like that. That's the cool thing about AI too. I can just take this. Yeah, I can just do that, you know? Take that. And then AI will just naturally translate it for me. So that's really cool. And now there's no like language barrier. I can hear what this guy's saying and then just use the AI to determine whether or not this is actually worth listening to, you know? And that's the thing that I've also known too. It takes really just one really super good long form video where it's just like, whew, pew, it just goes, you know? So make it really good and everything else is gonna work out, you know? Yeah, and already this video got 18,000 likes. It's amazing. Okay, we're almost towards the end here. I think so there's like different layers that I've noticed as well with, you know, what stage of YouTuber you are, from amateur to professional. And the most amateur is like gear, like what kind of equipment do I need or whatever. And then after that, you move on to the storytelling stuff. I think you really get to true professional when, number one, you get paid to do it, right? So you have to do it as a job. So you have to study everything that you can. And two, you've got systems in place and you got a team to help you execute on what you're doing. That's how I kind of see it, you know? And so everyone's at different stages of their journey, which is fine, which is great. Just make sure that you know when you're keeping yourself stuck in one specific stage. I don't want to spend forever learning how to tell stories and watching movies and watching videos on how to tell stories or camera and everything. I want to get to actually doing it, doing the work and executing and putting myself out there. The faster you put yourself out there, the faster you see the feedback. The feedback tells you what to iterate on. And that's the thing about having the system. You need to track everything and measure everything. That's also the third point. I think a real professional tracks. They track and they track and they track and they determine then what's good, what's not good, etc. Okay, here we go. Yeah, vocal toning and emotions and all that stuff, that comes next. So for me, I know that normally I sound more monotone and I still got to determine whether or not that's, you know, me or not. Because I'm also not the type of person that's going to be like screaming at the top of his lungs in every video and, you know, make that my identity. That's not me either. So I have to figure out the balance point. And that takes self-awareness, understanding who you are. Like Gary Vee says, like Uncle Gary says. Okay. All right, here we go. So we got that now, right? Let's go here back to ChatGPT. Go to the thing. All right, cool. All right, now, same thing here. I just researched these things on telling stories and storytelling or whatever, comma. Now what I need you to do for me is I need you to audit and grade each one out of 100% in terms of what's listening. What advice is actually worth listening to and how well it actually relates to what professional storytellers would actually suggest, period. Since I'm not a professional storyteller and I'm not going to go to a film school or, storytelling school or whatever, comma, I need to basically access the true nuts and bolts of what makes a good story, period. So I ask you to please also research on the internet from the top professionals that are professional storytellers, what they would do and how aligned is the information in these pieces of transcripts, period. I need to decide quickly who is worth listening to and who is not, and to decide which transcripts to delete and which to keep, because we're going to use that for the next layer. All right, and this is nothing personal. It's just me making that decision. Okay, I'm going to give myself this last bit right here. Okay, now please audit and grade this set out of 100% and do the same process, period. What's worth keeping, what's worth deleting, and are these transcripts that came from actual videos from YouTube in line with what professional storytellers would advise as the anatomy of telling great stories. And then this is our final set right here. So far, it was only 2 videos that we deleted, which is good. And we did this pretty fast. Oh, that's an hour. Shit. Gotta cut that down. Okay. Give me 9 minutes. The secret to telling better stories. How to become a master storyteller. 3 powerful ways. The only 5 lines you need to tell a story. The art of storytelling. Studied. Okay. All right. That we delete. How to master the art of YouTube storytelling. Say this in your video. How to master YouTube storytelling. How to become a storytelling genius. Right. Okay, we delete that. Let's go here again. ChatGPT just said that there's nothing worth deleting here. Okay, so now we go back one more time. Give me 9 minutes. Okay, the secret to telling a great story. Okay, how to become a master storyteller. 3 powerful ways without boring people. The only 5 lines. The art of storytelling. How to master the art of YouTube storytelling. Okay. How do we, okay. Storytelling genius. Okay, cool. Good enough. All right. What are you talking about? Maybe I hit its usage, upload limits or some shit, which is common. Yep. Probably. Okay, cool. So now that we have that done, I need you to tell me what is the script template for creating a YouTube video, and then how do we apply the storytelling elements into that framework? Question mark. When it comes to the SOC Production Hub database, how will we articulate that? Question mark. Remember that for the SOC Production Hub database, actually, you know what? All right, that'll do it for this video. That'll do it for this video. Yeah, so that'll do it for this video. We have to wrap up now, but that's the idea. The idea is we want to take these transcripts, morph them, and apply them into a framework. And once we have that framework, once we have that understanding of what kind of content or how we should be structuring our content, the structure is going to be very important now for this next phase of our evolution as professional content creators and professionals in general, like solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, to tell better stories that acquire attention, right? That get people's attention and get them to actually care. We move downstream from the script framework and the storytelling framework. We are now going to apply that moving forward into how we create content. That's going to be the next video. That's going to be the next deep work session. But other than that, that's it for today. Done. And that's actually going to be it for me for now. Because Notion, ChatGPT hit its, I've hit the upload limits basically. I can't, right. So I hit the upload limits. It's pretty pointless right now. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to wrap up here. I'm going to create a new save point. Mark it for today. Okay. Open this up. Please answer the prompt in rich text property. What shipped text property box, period. And map each response, each numbered list response to the appropriate text property, please, period. What we did today was I basically extracted all the transcripts that I needed to from so I have now a script anatomy layer and then a storytelling anatomy layer. Period. The only reason why I stopped today's deep work session is because I hit ChatGPT's upload limit. So I have to wait, and I'm already at the end of today's deep work session. But the next deep work session is basically taking that page as the next resume step and extracting those transcripts once again, deciding on the framework and how that's going to apply now to the SOC Production Hub database, period. So let Notion AI do that. Save the transcripts, get anatomy. Right, okay. Okay, so having shared all this information with you, what would you say is the anatomy of creating a script that is intended to perform very well long term on social media and YouTube, etc.? Question mark. And how would we fit that into the storytelling frameworks and apply that to the SOC Production Hub database so that when we get to the layer of actually creating templates, how are we going to create these templates? Question mark. Because the way that I see it going is that by the time we get to the SOC Production Hub database, the templates, I should be able to just click on a template and have the agent run the template and execute the prompt in section A of that template. And it's basically going to apply that script template and the storytelling narrative and layer and how I want it to look like. And it's going to apply the storytelling story types database and how I'm going to deliver that piece of content. Period. So how would this overall work? Ay. Come on now. Okay, break. Okay. Let's create a piece of content here. A little short. For the last 30 days, I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed to help me create content at scale for my personal brand. And what I am working on is creating templates right now that are basically going to take scripts and storytelling elements, infusing them into templates, and then running agents to execute scripts for me. Now, I know that a lot of people have already shown this, and I'm not going to do that right now. But what I am going to express here is the idea that I think agents and the quality of the output that an agent generates is dependent on how much data and how well you shape the template and how well you shape the script writing process. So ultimately, you can't just say, hey, write a script for me about a dog eating a bagel. That's not going to work. What I think is going to work is if you infuse actual proven story type frameworks and hook patterns and title patterns to shape the entire piece of content. So as you then dialogue and you speak out your script, it sounds more natural, it sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. Okay, so that's gonna be it. I gotta now edit that stuff. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna put that up right now. Before we completely end off, we're gonna just put that up there. All right, so let's put that up here. Let's go here. Cool. Yeah, and that'll be it, right? So is it really a waste of time if I, create content? If that content gets me subscribers or whatever, I don't think so anymore. So let's open up Filmora. Let's tighten it up, add the text, add all that stuff to it, put it out there to all the platforms, and let's go. Okay, take this piece of thing. Let's import. Let's go here. Right. For the last 30 days, I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed to help me create content. I'm going to do that right now. But what is if you infuse log and you speak out your script, and that's what I've been working on. Done. It sounds more natural. It sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. Natural. It sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. More logical. Sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. Okay. Now let's put up text here. Dynamic captions. Yep. It's nice. Nice. I like it. So now we see 45%. Upload that piece of content. And now I got to get it ready for that family meeting. And I'll come back and I'm going to edit the other pieces of content in a bit. For the last, okay, go here to the text, apply a new template. Days I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed for the last 30 days. I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed to help me create content at scale for my personal brand. And what I am working on is creating templates right now that are basically going to take scripts and storytelling elements, infusing them into templates, and then running agents to execute scripts for me. Now, I know that a lot of people have already shown this, and I'm not going to do that right now. But what I am going to express here is the idea that I think agents and the quality of the output that an agent generates is dependent on how much data and how well you shape the template and how well you shape the script writing process. So ultimately, you can't just say, hey, write a script for me about a dog eating a bagel. That's not going to work. What I think is going to work is if you infuse actual proven story type frameworks and hook patterns and title patterns to shape the entire piece of content. So as you then dialogue and you speak out your script, it sounds more natural, it sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. Logical. Cool. So that's good. We go to buffer.com now. And now we just send out that piece of content. Hell yeah, man. Of course. Of course. For the last 30 days, I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed to help me create content at scale for my personal brand. And what I All right, and that's also why you put that text stuff over it too. All right. Cool. So that should post everywhere. It's interesting. I stopped getting the reach. And that'll do it. And that's a piece of content. It's a piece of content. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. See, 175, 124. Didn't go anywhere, but that's fine. Let's go to TikTok. Oh boy, no. I don't want to. I don't want all that stuff anymore, man. For the last 30 days, I've been working on a brand operating system, which is designed to help me create content at scale for my personal brand. And what I am working on is creating templates right now that are basically going to take scripts and storytelling elements, infusing them into templates, and then running agents to execute scripts for me. Now, I know that a lot of people have already shown this, and I'm not going to do that right now. But what I am going to express here is the idea that I think agents and the quality of the output that an agent generates is dependent on how much data and how well you shape the template and how well you shape the script writing process. So ultimately, you can't just say, hey, write a script for me about a dog eating a bagel. That's not going to work. What I think is going to work is if you infuse actual proven story type frameworks and hook patterns and title patterns to shape the entire piece of content. So as you then dialogue and you speak out your script, it sounds more natural, it sounds more logical. And that's what I've been working on. Done. For the last 30 days, I've been working on a Okay, so that's not gonna take off for a while. That's fine. I got to get ready for a family meeting, but that's the idea. I need to be comfortable enough creating content, documenting, put it out there, and that's it. I created earlier several pieces of content. I need to come back after I'm done with my family meeting and then come back after the family meeting, and then what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, what is the word I'm looking for? Come back after the family meeting and then work on editing these pieces. So that's going to be it from me today. Okay. Okay, go back to Wondershare. Done. Okay. That's nice. I really appreciate this computer so much. Like, it's wow. Night and day. Night